Located just 30 kilometres out of Shanghai city centre, the Shanghai International Circuit is where LCR sets its scene for part 2 of this 14-part season. And of course, what better place to do it than this 3.3 mile long circuit with 16 turns ahead of the guys. 7 are to the left and 9 to the right, with 2 individual DRS detection zones and 2 activation zones. And action zones, of course, to watch out for in particular, turns 1 through 4, where LCR Apex, for a brilliant opportunistic multiple line corner move on Flying Finn back in LCR Season 2. Turn 6, of course, where LCR Visualize went for a brilliant move on King Leon 25 on his debut. Of course, he went on to become a title contender. Jolly nearly took advantage of that one as well. And finally, of course, turns 14 and 15, after a massive long straight, you deserve the opportunity to close the move. Why not do just what WR Clone Troop did on VSR Dralex when we take the victory at the Chinese Grand Prix in Season 5. But let's have a look. As per usual, just a few minutes ago, we had a simply gripping qualifying session, and here is your grid for it. So on pole position, it's the first LCR pole position for the Ferrari. LK lines himself up on the front row, but is the only man on ultra soft. Alongside him, of course, the German of LCR Leopard, fastest of all the soft runners. Row 2 is VBR Hit and VSR Dralex, making it a French 1-3 with Dralex down in P4. Row 3 is Boris Letterbox and KRC Gianni. Good qualifying from the pair of them. Nice to see the two Williams right up towards the front. Row 4 is an All-Force India rubber, Jolly out qualifying his teammate King Leon 25. And the final of the 5th row within the top 10, WR Clone Troop and Killer Snipes brings in a good one for the Haas team. And outside the top 10, of course, Row 6, UK Dark Predator and Wait still making an all Renault 6th row, and finally LCR Mulder and KJ Gamer make it a all Toro Rosso 7th row with CRG Morso at the back of the field. But the cars are making their way thick and fast on the formation. That mine, of course, is the voice of LCR Nuthead, alongside me, the man, the myth, the legend. This is the winner of the Season 1 Chinese Grand Prix and the Season 1 champion, LCR Apex. And Apex, what a qualifying session that was.
There was a lot to talk about in that session. I mean, you got to give the spotlight to LK. First LCR pole position from him, denying Leopard, Hit and Dralex, all podium sitters last time out. And the field was very much shaken up. The gap between, the gap between P5 to P12 was just insane. From Boris to from Boris all the way down to the KJ Gamer, it was mightily tight between. And again, CJ Morso at the back, not by accident. He just had to join in the middle of qualifying because he had to buy a new Xbox because his last Xbox gave up on him last night. So this is a this is a very fresh race for Morso, put it that way. But it's LK who will lead the charge going down into Turn 1. And I mean, what's going to happen? Hopefully there's not as many collisions as a certain other race that happened today. It should be good. I'm really looking forward to this race.
Well, that makes 2 of us in the race, of course, which lists as the 81st in LCR F1's history. CRJ Morso is going to be the final man of 15 as LCR, as per usual, get ready to create their legacy in China. The opportunity to become the Dragon of China and walk out with a championship lead awaits for LCR Leopard, VBR Hit and even possibly VSR Dralex. The final cars park up on the grid. The fans await. We are ready, and the 5 red lights are on as we build up towards 5 red lights, and LCR Season 6 is off in China. It's a fairly start. There's been LK got 4-star, Leopard got fairly okay start. Look at Johnny got a good start, very place in Dralex down towards turn 1. Leopard on the inside though, Dralex on the inside of him down towards turn 1 as well. Right on the outside he goes front of trying to defend. There's a good defence there from LK. Down the inside goes Dralex, the one here trying to do exactly what he couldn't do with the Bahrain Grand Prix. Hits does want to defend as well. As you can see Jolly trying to get past Boris Levels in the mountain as well. Killer Snipes. Liam drops a few positions. Battle over good friend UK Dark Predator as they come out down towards turn 6 for the first time. LK leads, Leopard second, Hit third, Dralex fourth. Johnny potentially manages on the defend, but Jolly is having an attack against Boris that always takes that P6 away. Killer Snipes are very much on the back of himself as Liam loses positions. The 2 Renaults and the 2 Toro Rossos both gain positions off the line. Clone Troop dropped a few positions off the line, not sure what but Wastel is now trying to defend against KJ Gamer way down the field in P11. This is 4, but up towards the lead as we go. The leaders stay fairly the same as LK begins to get away from the 3-time world champion. What happened to a Clone Troop further down? Did you get a chance to see, Apex?
He just kind of got swallowed up by the masses. A lot of the drivers towards the back made very, very good starts and had a great push through the first sector, but unfortunately Current Troop was not amongst them. More so staying nice and steady right at the back, but this is crunch time for LK. He's already outside the 1 second meter for Leopard. He's the only driver on the ultra soft tyres. He's got to push and he's got to make those work. And Clone Troop is not getting along with his car right now. Went super duper wide outside of turn 13 and he looks like he's going to be absolutely fed to CRGM also, who's probably on the tyre strategy on the medium tyres, but is it Jolly who's going to try and make a move on KLC Gianni up the inside? Yes, he does. Nicely done from the 4-cylinder driver.
We're about to start lap number 3. DRS is now becoming able. As you can see, that's immediately proof as Leopard just barely goes fastest than LK. There was barely anything to split them. We've got a massive train forming here all within a second, and now the DRS train might start, and this could be crucial. If LK can maybe stick about the DRS heading into this lap, he's still got a chance of sort of pulling away, because of course Leopard's going to start to be reeled in by Hit, Dralex, Jolly, Gianni, Boris, Killer Snipes, Elliot and UCAD operator, King Liam and UCAD operator down to P9 and P10 will all start to converge on one another, because that is just how DRS works, especially at a track where you get
down the inside of Dark Predator. He just tried to move down to the hairpin but overcooked his tyres and completely spun off the track. KJ is looking mightily feisty. If he's quick enough, he should just hop on the back of the train just behind Clone Troop. No real time lost, but he did try to move on UDK Dark Predator. He did smell blood and water. I think he was fair enough to go for it, but if anything, it's opened the door to Wasteful, who's massively closing the gap, and the train's kind of splitting apart. It seems Jolly's dropped back a little bit. Good racing from Jolly and Gianni so far to get in the positions they're in. But like you said, it's crucial. Did LK break the DRS of Leopard? I'm not sure if he did, actually, as we come towards the DRS line. And no, Leopard does not have DRS, so fair enough. LK did just pip over the second mark as they went over the line. And as you said, LK needs to break the DRS now, because if Leopard gets within it, he's never going to be shaken off. And Leopard breaks so much later into that hairpin. He comes so much closer. Any action further down the field looks like it, because King Liam's getting the move done on Killer Snipes. Parks his car right in front, but back around the outside of the hairpin. He's going to get the inside line for the final corner. Hopefully there's no contact made. No, King Liam goes through. Leopard sets fastest lap, but Hit sets an even faster lap.
Well, strap yourselves in. We're about to see an opportunity, and the main course appears to be the Ferrari. Meanwhile,
contact!
The two Renaults squabbling away, but meanwhile there has been contact. Killer Snipes are now off. Don't come back on the track and hit the two Renaults. Just about gets away with it. And both of them gladly take advantage, or have they? Because Predator's now in the defend against Killer Snipes, and that was all because of a bit of contact with Liam. I didn't quite see what happened. What actually happened from your view there, Apex?
It was still side by side and battling. It's just a case of some point you got to turn for the corner, and I guess he just picked the wrong moment. It's probably a total racing incident, but I'm sure I'm probably going to see it after the fact. But Killer Snipes is still limping from it, is the reality of the situation. I don't think he has any damage. He shouldn't do with reduced on, but unfortunately he does have damage to his position. Put it that way. He gets Mulder, gets up to P11, and he starts trying to hunt down the Renault drivers, because the Toro Rossos look like they can make up positions here, but they haven't quite been able to just yet, as KJ Gamer has fallen back, and Leopard in all of this is right on the back of LK. He could be passing him down this straight right now.
Off.
There you go.
I'm not too sure what happened to him there. Coming out of turn 10, he just appeared to wallop the wall on our screens, but we can't quite see what's that. Meanwhile, Leopard is smelling the opportunity to have his main course of LK down towards turn 14, and it's easily done before the braking zone, because LK sort of let him go. But
and Hit
could be on now. Hit's trying to follow him through. The two Frenchmen colliding together, but it wasn't quite enough. LK got a fairly good exit out of the hairpin. Meanwhile, Boris passing Gianni and Mulder and UCAD Predator, two medium runners, absolutely giving them the runaround. The two teams that I said to watch out for in a brilliant midfield battle. Here comes Hit though on LK, potentially down towards turn 1. Not quite enough. They'll try and sort of spring him. There's contact between the two, and LK goes sliding off, and also sees the opportunity for some decent points on the podium, potentially slide away as his chances dramatically decrease, with not only that but also the extremely worn Ultrasofts beginning to feel the effect.
LK coming on track right in front of Jolly has cost him time. These three are going to be battling as they come down the straight, and LK once again makes contact, but makes even more contact with Boris Letterbox as he goes around. I think he just about got tagged by the back of Jolly. I'm sure we'll definitely see that one again. And he's just tumbling down the positions. Is not the start that LK deserved. Unfortunately, in one lap, it's just all gone wrong. Clone Troop does a gentlemanly thing, lets him back through. Boris has to defend against Wastell as he continues to lose positions. Waystall tries it down the inside, hops the curb a little bit, but with Boris's wing damage that I believe he did get, it should be pretty simple for the Renault driver, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But Boris does dive it into the pits. He decides he'd rather change his front wing than limp home on those tyres, and LK actually curiously continues.
Well, now we end up with the same situation as Bahrain. Leopard ahead of Hit, who's ahead of Dralex. We haven't seen this one before, and almost certainly we haven't seen the three-way
we might not see this either. We're going
Troop.
3 wide, going down towards turn 6. Oh, just about around the outside. Clone Troop somehow avoids contact. It could have been a lot worse, although he did push off the road. KJ Gamer has got his elbows out today, it must be said. He does get the position on LK, but I mean, questionable driving all around, to be honest. But we'll see how that shakes up. But I kind of had to hold my breath there. I thought they were going to go 3 wide through turn 5, and LK is very much limping on these tyres. They're not cooperating with him anymore. He got that pole position, but it looks like unfortunately it's not going to come back to him as Clone Troop does get that position, and LK already down to 13th, hasn't even picked.
And meanwhile, Hit dropping outside of a second there on on LCR Leopard side, but he's still got the DRS for now. But now Dralex is sort of closing up. Meanwhile, the Force India of Kingdom 25 is down the inside of Gianni through towards turn 14 and 15, and the Force India does sail on past, and it now means that once again them two pesky Force Indias are back near each other on track, 4th and 5th as it stands. Actual fact, Liam's closing up to Jolly, and down the inside he goes, sorry, round the outside, and that was very close. Very nearly a 200-mile-an-hour incident.
I want to say real quick before Waystall looks like he might be sizing up a move on Gianni. They are bringing home the biggest haul of points right now, because I don't know if you remember, but the Williams and Ferrari teammates both have had incidents early on that forced them to pit, and they're outside the points. So Leopard, Hit, and Dralex are all the only drivers gaining points for their teams. As Waystall looks like he's going to try and up the inside of Gianni. He's faster through the corner, but isn't quite able to get his car into the correct position. Has to stay behind for now, but he's probably getting pressure from Mulder as well. It's not easy going if your name is Waystall right now, and I don't know if he's maybe going to try and lunge up the inside to Gianni. Yes, he is! On the curb, Gianni leaves him plenty of space, but he leaves just enough space to also get the much better exit. Mulder nearly loses it, thankfully doesn't. And they look like they're going side by side through the S's, but it looks like Waystall's going to have to concede it unless he can get a switchback going.
Now, of course, the question is, does Morso now begin to attack Mulder to want me to try and take the opportunity, but out towards turn 13. Oh, look at Gianni slide in the back end, and now Waystall can smell the opportunity to slip down the inside of the Flying Finn, and Mulder makes it 3 wide, and here they go down towards turn 14. Get this on the action zone next year, Apex, because Mulder's done the double overtake potentially. If he can now go round the outside of Waystall through towards turn 15, he's just about squeezed out, and I think he will just about. And now Morso also trying to get himself involved. It's also, and he's also trying to find his way through, but not quite enough for him to have a go. But Waystall was still trying to defend against Mulder, but the DRS for the medium compound runner, the Toro Rosso. Round the outside goes the Flying Dutchman of LCR, not the one lap wonder anymore, and he gets himself into P5. And Morso now does indeed try and take the opportunity round the outside of Gianni through towards turn 4. This battle does not want to end at all, and here comes the cheery Italian at the back of it as well. This is all adding up to be what is one hell of a midfield scrap. And now through towards turn 6, down the inside goes the academy driver of CRG Esports, and a lovely move in the end works out a treat, and that was some brilliant scrapping to watch.
Hands down fantastic from these 5 drivers. They don't get enough love, in my opinion, in this or any league. These are all fantastic drivers, and they're showing why they are in this league. Out of all this, by the way, you may have noticed the positions might have grown a little bit. That's because Dralex is on the undercut. He's back down into P12. He's jumped from the softs onto the mediums. He's undercut both Hit and Leopard. He's the one who's made the first call. So it'll be interesting to see how the front few drivers react. So keep an eye on that. But I mean, we've got to keep an eye on this 5-way battle because it's not over yet. Morso's looking like he's going to try and get a move done on Waystall. And in fact, Predator has gotten a move down on Gianni. Gianni's not really cooperating with that snail section very well, and he nearly loses it. Thankfully doesn't. Morso's already got the move done before the DRS.
But the slipstream good enough for Waystall to come right back at it, and this is Jizu against CRG, breaking under brakes. More importantly, it's Renault against McLaren in what could be a brilliant little bit of a midfield battle. A bit of an upset, really, in the constructors, all things considering. But into the pits comes Leopard, Hit, and Jolly, and also Waystall now takes the opportunity to dart it in, which also means the only soft runner out on track, as Clone Troop is going to stay out by the looks of things. This means that the only 2 soft runners
drives
still
around the final
out
corner.
as
Here
they
he comes.
started.
Down the main straight, is he going to jump them? It looks like he has not. He's just come out just behind them. If anything, he's cut out the gap completely. And as I said, Leopard's done what I figured he'd want to do. pit the exact same lap as Hit. He's got the same advantage. However, Dralex, while he might not have nailed the undercut, he's closer to Hit than Hit is to Leopard. So this could be big. Well, and he's actually on warmed up tyres as well, so he could even try to move now.
That is a great exit out of turn 4 and heading down towards turn 6. He smells the opportunity. Round the outside goes the Canadian on the Frenchman. We've already seen these two come to blows in the desert lights of Bahrain. And maybe this time through towards 7 and 8. Not quite enough. I think he probably senses the opportunity that Leopard has the opportunity to scupper away in this battle and doesn't want the same happening as what happened at Bahrain.
But right now,
you could have Predator. Oh, you could have Predator and KJ Gamer proper scrapping it through towards 7 and 8. They come round the outside goes KJ Gamer, a man who's really had a motive in this Grand Prix, through towards 9, and indeed he has it. But the switchback on through 10 for the Italian, and he does his best to try and squeeze him out. Not quite enough, and now down towards this second of 2 snail sections at the Chinese Grand Prix, and Pred defends. Switchback again on for KJ, and now back another switchback again. We've already seen Renault and Toro Rosso squabble away between Mulder and Wastel. Now we're seeing it between Pred and KJ down towards turn 14. Pred goes defensive on the inside. KJ follows him through. Now goes to the outside line as he was very much presented the opportunity to do so. Swooping opportunity for KJ Gamer. Pred defends on the inside line though and very much cuts him off, but then a massive tank slapper out of the corner and through towards the final corner he comes, and maybe this time KJ are done. No, he does not. They're still side by side down towards turn 1. Now UK Dark Predator has the DRS, and I think ultimately that might be game, set and match for him. And now round the outside he goes through towards turns 1, 2, 3 and 4, but almost simultaneously gone ahead, tried to go for a move, couldn't quite get the opportunity to do that one, so that means we pan away from that one. But in the end I think it finally peters out with the Italian ahead just about. Brilliant scrapping, some even more brilliant stuff in the midfield battle.
It's still going, mind you, because Gamer's going down the outside. I don't know if he's overcooked it. There is a little bit of contact. They should make it out just all right. Yes, he does. KJ went for it. I don't know if Contention is playing a little bit of a part there, but it does look very difficult for KJ and Dark Predators to seem to separate each other. They're going side by side in corners. I figured you wouldn't be able to even dream of going side by side through, so fair play from the pair of them. But yeah, like you said, it is all over the back for Leopard. He looks like he's trying to go in for the kill, especially down to turn 1, but he wasn't quite able to make it happen. And the thing is, they're coming up to KJ and Dark Predator, but it's not like they've got blue flag situations on. They're just on different strategies. So whether or not they're going to hold him up, whether they're going to let him through, whether KJ is going to think, well, actually, no, if I let you through, then maybe, you know, that'll compromise me. You know, there's a lot of questions that we're about to get an answer right now, as Leopard will have DRS and KJ Gamer. KJ Gamer has DRS. In fact, poor Dark Predator is the only one without DRS in this long train. Who's going to try and make a move? I don't know if anybody is. We're going to go nice and single fire. In fact, Leopard thinks about it. He does go for it. Comes the curve a little bit. Stays side by side with KJ Gamer. If anything, he's actually going to lose time out of this. Mulder Pits also leads. Who'd have thought that? But we're still going Dark Predator, KJ Leopard here, who very nearly loses it on the corner. Maybe if he had a better exit, he could be side by side, but unfortunately that's not the case. Again, down to turn 1, is anybody going to make a move? This corner is just constantly breaking, constant closing. You could make a very late move as Leopard. Looks like he might be able to, as KJ went a little bit wide. They almost touched wheels. All Hit has to do is sit back and watch and hope that something happens, but it looks like Leopard around the outside of turn 4. That's not an easy move to get done. He gets it done anyway because it's LCR frickin' Leopard. Is he going to try and move around the outside of UK Dark Predator? No. Is he going to try to switch back? I think KJ Gamer is going to block him completely here, and Leopard is ahead of KJ. Can he get ahead of Predator? Is he going to try down the inside of the S's? Leopard, I like breathing. Can you let me breathe, please? No, he's not.
Gripping stuff through towards 9 and down the inside goes LCR Leopard. Oh, it's contact with Pred and KJ. Oh, and they just about managed to avoid VBR Hit and Dralex. That could have been the end of the Chinese Grand Prix for VBR Hit and UK Dark Predator, and possibly even KJ Gamer, but fortunately he'll get away with it. KJ now comes back on the track, in fact leaves the session in frustration, and now that is surely the end. Meanwhile, UK Dark Predator being passed by 2 good friends in Liam and Jolly. They're both saying, thanks so much lad, now please sit behind us for a bit and pit. But now that means that all the leaders are separated by at least just under a second still. So that was probably the crucial thing, is that this battle is not dead yet, because the DRS is still more than alive for all Dralex and Hit.
What a fantastic shot from these 3. They've been nose to tail all race. Apart from Dralex picking that lap earlier, it's just been Leopard, Hit, Dralex over and over again. And again, if you're Leopard, you've got to be on it the whole time. You cannot slip up, because if you do, you're going to lose out positions to, let's face it, your championship rivals. This is the same podium as last race. CJM also, yeah, he's enjoying himself in first place now, but I mean, he's going to come out somewhere in the midfield, back to where he was previously, and he's going to be one to keep an eye on. But he's not the one winning this race. If anything, right now Leopard is the one winning this race. Team order is going down a little bit further on, by the way, of Jolly being led by King Liam. Jolly is actually on the softs. King Liam's on the mediums. Okay, I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to have to look in the menu for that in a second, but we won't look at that right now because Hit is right on the back of Leopard. I almost want to say he pushed him on the track there.
I mean, you don't know what you can say. Here goes Hit through towards 12. Oh, that's not quite enough, but now as they come out towards 13, this is incredible stuff between the Frenchman and the German. Leopard sort of jolting back and forth at the moment because it hits in there, but here he goes defensive. They all go to the inside line and try and break the slipstream, but they all very much follow each other through. Now here we go. Could this be a double overtake on 2 for VSR Dralex potentially? He shifts to the outside line as well as they go 3-1 down towards turn 14. Hit breaks the latest of them all. Leopard defends him off, and Dralex can very much take an opportunistic move here round the outside through towards the final corner, and he does. VSR Dralex leads the Chinese Grand Prix, but for how long? As this squabble continues, a revelation unfolds down towards turn 1. Down the inside goes LCR Leopard. He takes it back, or does he, through towards turn 2? Down the inside goes Dralex, a bit of a kiss in the side, and now through towards turn 4, a bit of another kiss there, and Hit takes full advantage, and they're back in the order they started. Leopard squeezes him and loses the back end now towards turn 5, and now towards 6. In the end, Hit ends up ahead of all three of them. Unbelievable stuff, which just sees change after change, and now it's Hit ahead of Leopard, ahead of Dralex. Oh my goodness me.
Oh God, I have my mic muted there because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Lap 18, the penny has dropped. The fight is on. Like those corners where maybe something went wrong for somebody and somebody else took advantage. That move from Dralex in the hairpin, absolute masterclass of positioning and just taking advantage of those around you. No science behind it. You see the gap, you go for it, and he went for it and he got it. Unfortunately, went a bit away from him in turn 1. That little bit of contact between him and Leopard, as you said, gave Hit the advantage, and the advantage he keeps going down the back straight and lets Leopard absolutely sends it. Nope, the Frenchman is leading. In fact, Leopard has left the session. I don't know if that's a disconnect. I will send an invite, but that is interesting.
What a way that would be to end the battle. Just a random disconnect, and he's back in the lobby, but is he going to be back in time before then Medal in Force Indies catch up? They're going to be pushing like hell. The sense of opportunity to get this podium away from the Williams. The same top 3 of Bahrain could be about to be spoiled by these two meddling hooligans that are the Force India team, with just under 9 laps to go. Sorry, just over 9 laps to go of this Chinese Grand Prix. It is Hit ahead of Dralex and now ahead of Jolly and Liam. And Leopard is continuing to fall down the order. He gets back in just about before he comes out ahead of Mulder. Oh, Mulder's kissing to the back of him. Fortunately reduced damage, but there was no contact. But that really was at no fault of the Germans. Oh dear.
Now, here's the thing. Realising that, well, Leopard's actually lost position to Mulder right now, although I'm sure Leopard's going to see red and going to be gaining some position. There we go. Already back on the inside. But here's the thing. Jolly and King Liam have been all nice and buddy-buddy so far. Is Leopard... Okay, no, this move's not quite done yet. Is Leopard going down the inside? Mulder's trying to hold it around the outside. Don't forget, Mulder's actually on the quicker tyre. Mulder did start on the medium, so this could actually be a scrap here. I don't think it's going to be very simple for Leopard here as much as he'd like. He's gone from 1st to 6th in the space of a lap, and it's not his fault at all by lieu of a disconnect. He was right behind Hit when he disconnected as well, and he's got more so behind him. Oh, Leopard, you poor soul. But I just want to quickly mention, Force Indias, they've been nice and buddy-buddy so far, helping each other and qualifying in the race. Now there's a podium on offer. I don't think they're going to be as buddy-buddy. I think these two are going to start fighting. So, I mean, don't turn away just yet, but it looks like Hit is very comfortably in the lead. He's now been freed from the German in front of him, and he's put the pin out of the grenade, and he's just fired ahead of Dralex, and Jolly and King Liam could be under threat, well, from each other, and Mulder is definitely under threat from Leopard, and more so. who's recovered from last to 7th, and Boris Letterbox actually also, while all this is happening, is going to try to switch back through the S's. Is Boris Letterbox going to get the move done on Wastel, bring up some Williams points that they sorely need after Leopard's unfortunate disconnect. Looks like right now he's having to stay behind Wastel. He's doing a great job in his debut for Renault.
Down towards turn 14, and Clone Troop potentially is going to try it, or even possibly Boris on Wastel. Let's see who goes for what as they head down towards turn 14. Here comes Boris. He doesn't think about Clone Troop and tries an opportunistic dive bomb down the inside of Boris Letterbox. Number 69 on the defensive as they come down towards the final corner at turn 16. Round the outside. Not enough for WR Clone Troop, but then down towards turn 1. He's going to potentially have the opportunity to have a go again because of the slipstream and the DRS, and also a relatively good exit. Here he goes down the inside, goes the Indian on the Brit, and he slides the back end, does Boris Letterbox, and in the end that really means it's all over for him in that one. And now Clone Troop potentially can look at himself ahead of him and think about a move on Wastel. But what about Morso? Has he found a way past Leopard yet, or even possibly had a slight look? Because Mulder is more or less forming a bit of a train here. But in actual fact, no, he's not. Clone Troop's just past Wastel.
There you go. Yeah, I think Wastel got a bit caught out through the turn 4. Don't forget, Clone Troop did start on the mediums, and he is currently on the softs. And I'm wanting to keep an eye on the Force Indias because Jolly's softs are going to wear off at some point. Is King Liam going to try and move? I don't think this is going to be a move. I think this is going to be another case of team orders from the Force India boys. I mean, there's plenty of action going on track right now as Mulder's going on the defensive to Leopard. He's going to try it around the outside. Very Clone Troop-esque. Is he going to get the move done? He gets a much far superior exit. There we go. Leopard back up into, well, unfortunately back up into B5. He's also going to try it the inside. He sees the opening. He goes for it. Why not? Got the DRS open. Is he going to try it down the outside? It actually looks like Mulder got a much better exit out of that corner. Should be safe for the time being unless Morso decides to send it up the inside. The opening is there and the car is there because Morso's gone for it. The gore is wide open from Leopard, who just about closes it off. A bit of rubbing going on between Mulder and Morso there. Thankfully nothing comes out of it. I don't know if that was lag, but fortunately nothing long term there from either driver. Is Morso going to try around the outside? Goes very close, wheel on the grass. Mulder leaving him no space. In fact, Morso even has to lock up just to avoid careening into the back of the Toro Rosso driver. Mulder, clearly not happy about losing one position to Leopard, is not about to give up his other one to Morso.
But he is still closing up towards them two Force Indians, so it's clear that Leopard is just a man who's absolutely switched it on in his last lap. After the disconnect, he's just put it all behind him and said, right, I've still got a job to do here. I've still got to try and bring home a decent haul of points. He's doing his best to do so, but here comes Morso on Mulder down towards turn 14. He goes to the inside line against the Flying Dutchman. Can the CRG Academy driver do it? He tries to squeeze him out, sort of rubs him through there. That looks like something you'd see. Well, I don't want to say we can see it. And now through towards the final corner. What is LCR Mulder doing? Left him no room, squeezed him out. That was very aggressive from the Dutchman.
About what I do enjoy watching is Clone Troop and Wastel. These two have been going hammer and tong, and I don't want to shy away from them because they've just been going back and forth. Full credit to them. A little bit of contact there, but that's just a blip on the radar as they continue to go side by side through turn 2, through turn 3, through turn 4, and Clone Troop once again back in front as Boris is also keeping them honest. So this is a three-way scrap here essentially. As Wastel, is he going to try around the outside of Clone Troop? No DRS down here. Is he going to go for the switchback, which has proved deadly? And this track has that switchback. So many drivers going for it and using it to their advantage and pulling off perfectly, but unfortunately Wastel still having to stay behind Clone Troop for the time being. That battle isn't over yet, as neither is Mulder versus Morso, because I just flicked over to Morso and Mulder just run wide, nearly sliding his car, so they could be going at it again down this hairpin. That hairpin, if you bought grandstand tickets down to that hairpin in this race, you would be getting your money's worth, because the amount of incidents and battling going on down there this is why this track is so good.
Indeed, as now here we go again. Morso goes to the inside line of LCR Mulder. Fifth time's the charm, maybe this time we're on board with Mulder. It's contact between the two, and Morso is round. That's really not how you want it to end.
Oh, well, that's getting removed. That's getting removed. I can tell you that now. As Clone Troop actually gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I don't know what's happening to.
There's a lot of lag going on here with Clone Troop. Boris just now got through, and now Gianni going to try and find a way past him. Killer Snipe does hit.
A lot of drivers have been very clean, turning the line with penalties. Nobody's really got any. So unless Leopard can pull something out of the bag, I think the podium looks like it's going to be what it is. But Leopard is on the back of not only Jolyon, but also King Liam. He's within a second of King Liam, despite the fact that he's got Jolly in the way. So as we head on to the final lap, there's going to be a lot of battles, including Morso versus Mulder, because Morso has caught up. And will have his penalty.
Oh, hello. Jolly goes to the inside line against Liam and actually gets the move done on the last lap of racing. They swap positions, and now
I think he's fed King Liam to the wolf.
Oh, he has indeed, and he's done more than that. Liam now squeezed him out. That is very aggressive stuff there from King Liam 25. Old rivalry reignite.
I have to say that's fair, despite the fact that I'm on like a teammate with Leopard. I have to say that's fair. Leopard did send it right up the inside on turn 1. He's trying to get Leopard's. This is like desperation stuff. It's got to be said. That was.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that one, but as they come up towards the hairpin for the final time, it's a question of who will walk out of that one. But VBR hit has been superb. He was a favourite heading into this season. It took him Bahrain, but in China, he is victory. And 25 points go home with Mercedes. Dralex then comes home P2 in the end. More so, in the end, it's going to be Jolly who comes home with P3, Leopard P4, and Liam P5. VBR hit takes the victory in China, the first Frenchman to ever win in an LCR race, and also becomes alongside a full French winning weekend with LK getting the pole position and VBR hit winning the Chinese Grand Prix. VSR Dralex has to settle for another P2 today, but after P3 last time out, 33 points in 2 races is not a bad bit of form to walk out with heading into the next couple of rounds. P3 in the end it goes to Jolly and makes it a Force India 3-4. The last lap swap of the order means Liam comes home P4 with LCR Leopard P5. LCR Mulder comes home P6 with CRGA Morso coming home P7, but that order is only provisional. Wastel P8 with Clone Troop P9, and finally KRC Jani rounds out the top 10 of point position. Outside the points, we did have finishes. LK, UK Dark Predator, and Killer Sniper sponsored by Boris Box with KJ Gamer, the only DNF of the Grand Prix, which I personally think is magnificent to see. But that will conclude that. We walk out with a new championship leader. See you guys same time next week for the Spanish Grand Prix.